Many of you may know the Internet Archive from our service called the Wayback Machine, where you can see old versions of websites that we've been archiving from kind of the mid to late 90s until now. One fact about the Wayback Machine that people often don't know is that it doesn't just like take a screenshot or save the HTML file, it actually emulates the entire process of the web page loading. Yeah, it's more like an emulation machine than it is just saving. But one other thing that people don't always know is that you can search plain text of all the books that we've scanned. If we search something in here and we select this search text contents, it'll search all of our books.
Hello everyone, my name is Ash, I go by Apawa Online, and today I want to tell you about heart spotting. Heart spotting is the practice of noticing heart-shaped things in your everyday life. Examples of this would be this rock that I saw on the ground, yep, that's a heart. This cactus, heart-shaped, mushroom chip, heart-shaped. This tree, that's pretty cool. This vine was in a heart. Yeah, this is another example of heart spotting. And these things mean different things to different people, but it's kind of a practice in synchronicities. For me, it's kind of a reminder that love is all around us. I started picking up this practice after my last heartbreak, and I remember through this practice and identifying the heart-shaped things around me, it felt like a confirmation from the universe that love is for me and that I'm surrounded by love. The website is heartspot.ing, and what it is an archive, and my dream with this website is to have like heart spottings from around this world. I want to fill this map with people's heart spottings, just as a place on the internet that you can return to remember that love is all around you.
Thank you, Ash, for starting and for hosting this every month. It's a really amazing place to empower this community. My name is Chang, and I like to say I make communal computers. And what I mean by that is I care about the ways we can use technology and computers and the internet broadly to empower the ways we already play and create and care for each other. Our phones feel so replaceable. They feel like they're not this individual object. This prompt would help you capture those moments. At 8, when you're waking up, you might take your phone in a stretch and show it the limits of your body. Or at 3, when you're hanging out with your friend in the park, maybe it could give you an invitation to play with your friend in a new way. And then maybe at night, at 5, you could do a little dance with your phone and have an intimate moment together. And then click begin. And it's going to show you like a little tutorial. When everyone's there, I'm going to wait like 10 seconds. We're all going to start together.
You're free to explore the space and interact with the world itself. If you have difficulty figuring out what the commands are, try typing in help. It'll bring a list of commands that you can use to interact with things. The game kind of starts with you in a sparse bedroom. You find a piece of candy from your childhood, and you eat it. And you cough up a key, which is kind of gross, but it is what it is. And the key unlocks a chest in your room with a few objects, like an old journal, a pair of glasses, and a pack of crayons. And as you read the journal, you realize it's turned into a portal to one of your imaginary worlds from your childhood, and it's a bit in shambles from when you've last seen it. Writing it felt like a way of giving shape to something that only had existed in my head, and there's something really healing in that process of rebuilding a childhood world and inhabiting it again. Yeah, so I guess my message is, like, if there's a world that you've forgotten about or a space that you found in your childhood that you want to remember, maybe you can make a game about it. That's all I have for today.
I'll be right back.
Well, I was a student at Carnegie Mellon, where I studied physics and art, and an interdisciplinary degree, and I was trying to find ways to combine both disciplines. So I started working with physics faculty and researchers to create visualizations of their research in astrophysics. The first project I did was visualizing star cluster evolution, and I did this project with Professor Rodríguez and researcher Dr. Hugo Nicolò Di Carlo. So they're researching star cluster dynamics and developing computational models for star cluster evolution. So I did some research into how telescopes capture images, specifically how they capture point light sources or stars. And this is like one snapshot of it, and you can visualize just the gas or the star particles. For this, I used the star age to determine the color of the stars and the temperature of the gas to simulate the color of the gas particles. And where to start this, you can also fall through and get to the center. Yeah, that's basically all I have to share.
So my name is R. Tyler, and you might know me from AV Club SF, or Decipher San Francisco, which is a newer thing, and Touch Designer SF, and Monument House as well. I like to make music with code. I DJ by executing code blocks in a text editor, and so the whole thing kind of feels like a coding interview gone wrong. We have this international community of artists who perform at events called algoraves. And I've described them as, it's like a DJ concert, but a lot nerdier. I bought this holographic screen to project code and make it look sci-fi. And sometimes we play on really big walls. I like to play with a visualist. It's just more fun to have more people on stage. And sometimes people really like to dance to it, which is amazing. So altogether, it's this audiovisual spectacle, but to me, it's a lot more than just Instagrammability. I like to code dance music because of algorithms for harmony, sound design, and rhythm. To me, it just feels like a natural extension of being a music nerd. There's a lot of structure you can play with beyond the circle of fifths, and you get this cool geometry when you look at more exotic jazz scales. And so to make this, I repurposed some techniques from data science and network theory to visualize and figure out what the rules are for finding neighboring musical scales. And this lets you take people on a harmonic journey that has been really fun for me to write music around. I wrote a Reddit post on it, and it got a lot of views and a lot of discussions. And I've been using this harmonic technique for about 3 years, and this album, that's how I made all the key changes and how I tuned the drums. I played this at Gray Area Algorithmic Art Assembly, which is an amazing festival. There's going to be another one next year in March, and South by Southwest, as well as the Next.js conference. So if you're a JavaScript developer, you might have seen me do this. In addition to the 12 notes in the piano, I love microtonality. This is just like all the in-between frequencies. Everyone asks about the stack. So here it is. I write code in U of M. It's Haskell code. I use the tidal cycles language for music, which transmits OSC to SuperCollider that sends MIDI to control Ableton Live. And sometimes I'll like write this out when I'm performing because it's a common question. And yeah, we're in San Francisco. I'm going to go over 2 Python projects, and then I'm just going to end with some music. So this is a Python converter I wrote to translate your piano playing into readable, editable, and executable code. And it's pretty one-to-one. Like, you play some jazz solo, and then it turns it into code, you execute the code, and it sounds the same. This tool is used for a PC music release. It's one of my favorite labels. My friend Lil Data did a remix for Caro. That would have been so bad. Is that great? Oh my gosh. the auto-generated code. If you want to come to Algorithms, come to live coding events, Touch Designer SF, or things in this area, give me a follow, shoot me a message. Thank you so much.
Should we say a prayer to the internet? Okay. Hi, my name is Johnny. This is Ritwik, and we are actual neighbors. And I do mean that quite literally. This is the building in which we live. Beautiful 6-unit mid-rise. I'm not going to say the location, I scrubbed out the address. It's just these 2 boxes offset, and that's with the full 6 units. But the way that this works is we have all these frames, and then have our respective units, and then we combine them in different ways. And but I want to back up for a second. When I first moved into, or when Rit first moved in to the apartment building, I saw him outside, and then, I mean, what do you say to that? But of course, I've actually always wanted to go to India, is what I told him, and that's true. And so we went, and we got to see all of the chaos, and all of the buzz and the beauty and the serenity that India has. And this is like a street corner that Rit used to frequent as a child. And because we make music with a laptop, we were able to take it with us and make music anywhere. And so we came up with we have a couple of tracks that we just released.
This was like, we used essentially like different places where we took all the footage that we recorded in India and we placed them in two-dimensional space. And this is sort of what the network looks like on a high level. It begins with this box geometry, so we created this box that essentially holds the graphic system together, and the box basically represents the building that we live in. We created this camera movement rig that uses this preset geometry that the camera can basically like track to. Thank you.
Dark cathedral ribs, glowing streams pulse, fall. Neon rain descends now between shattered pillars, bright veins glow. So that was a free verse poem from Poetry. There's a knob on here with some other settings to let you print out haikus and sonnets. You can also customize it. So I've been really enjoying making absurdist postmodern CBS receipts. So we're gonna do one of those. All right, there we go. Where are my slides? Okay. It says, curved ceiling with faint glow, $156.78. Architectural intent, $452. That feeling when you're being watched, $876. The weight of darkness is 1 cent. Tax is not included. The origins of the project started with a sketch by Ryan in 2019, I believe, or 2020, when the state of the art of AI back then was that AI could recognize things. So he was thinking, oh, what if you could have a Polaroid that would tell you what it recognized? So here, for example, is a Polaroid that's taken a picture of a mushroom, and the camera can tell you 99.99% certainty that it's a mushroom. It's really groundbreaking stuff. Fast forward to 2023, I just started a sabbatical, and I was talking to Ryan about this and got really excited by the opportunity to reinvent cameras. So pulled together a software prototype, never having really written like a working web app before, duct taping together image recognition models and language models to get a very bad prototype of a very bad software prototype that thought that this picture of the dog was at the National Mall. And it would write a poem about that. But it was still so exciting to be able to get anything to work. So I found a tutorial online that showed me how to put my web app code into a Raspberry Pi, hook it up to a thermal printer and a camera. Remade the camera, even though it looks similar from the outside. It's completely new internals and architecture, same functionality.
Hi, my name is Andy. Okay, great. Hi, my name is Andy. I work on some power stuff, and I'm here to tell you about some cool things you can, sorry, I'll start over. Hi, my name is Andy Kong. I'm going to tell you some stuff about energy I've learned and how the government is suppressing this source of infinite free energy. And I'll be telling you how to make cool electronics using this form of energy. So this all started a long time ago, but I'm going to pretend it started when I saw this cool earring project. This is by Vidzela. It is this industrial bar earring, and it glows. That's all it does. But it's really cool because it looks tiny. So you're really curious about how this thing is glowing. Like, how does it do that? And it's because it has like this tiny battery in the ends, and the ends are kind of hidden by the hair, so you can't really tell. But it's doing this thing that, on first glance is kind of magical. You're like, this thing's glowing, like, what's up with that? So, this is really cool, and I really like when electronics kind of disappear. Gadgets are nice if you're a nerd, but I'm not a nerd. So, this is a project I worked on called Power Over Skin. This is for longer distances. So the idea is if you have a transmitter that you wear somewhere, like your phone, or in your shoe, or on your back, or on your head or something, like they ran out of limbs. Yeah, so then you can transmit power from that transmitter through your skin by just blasting that radio into yourself. So that's what the little circles are for. Oh, it's totally safe, by the way, also. I checked after, but there were other papers on it, so I kind of knew that it wasn't going to kill me or anything. But yeah, this is another way you can power stuff. So for instance, here's an earring that's powered. It just blinks every couple of seconds, and this is powered from like a headband. On the left over there, the ugly thing is a Bluetooth joystick, and it's powered from the wrist. So, you can do Bluetooth, you can blink lights, all sorts of things. You can make it beep. We didn't do that because I thought it'd be kind of annoying. So the harvesters for this are not super difficult to use. They just have a couple of chips in them. And normally people put it in shoes, but I've never seen anyone put it in teeth, which I think would be kind of dope. Like if you have like the the Bluetooth spy device in your tooth and it just charges when you like chew, I think that'd be really cool. If you do like a bunch of if you like do the math for the solar, basically you can get 3 joules for every 5 minutes you spend in the sun. And like 3 joules is about how much like a continuous glucose monitor uses. Or if you have a really, really efficient system, you can actually make a Bluetooth device that does whatever you want, like lights up an LED, for instance. So there's really big alpha 3D printing your head. It's not annoying yet. Maybe very soon. Anyway, so I have a solar harvester demo on me. So if you want to check it out, see me later. But also we're kickstarting the chargerless bracelet. So if you want to see that exist, then you should check it out. So yeah, thanks.
Yo, I'm a designer. I spend most of my time focusing on how artists can independently publish work, primarily in the context of games and audio, but I'm going to focus primarily on the audio portion right now. What's always struck me is that most independently published work that's prolific is almost never the work of a lone genius. It always comes from a pretty fertile creativity of the whole scene. You don't get David Bowie without Iggy Berlin, and you don't get underground radio without DJs and its residents and loyal listeners. So, and I mentioned underground radio, independent radio, because that's a scene that I'm most familiar with. Specifically here in San Francisco, it's quite potent. If people aren't familiar, there's stations like Sutra FM, Lower Grand, Hyde FM, Fault, and so many more. And they've grown a ton of artists, like Board Lord, Tori Moi. They're super important for having artists kind of grow within the music ecosystem. And I will say that indie radio is quite real. Although I showed web pages that showcase broadcasts, indie radios all have studios where people meet and they congregate with their friends, go live, but they also host events that are not just in their studios. They're in cafes, libraries, clubs. But it's strange that those events are rarely broadcasted. With that, I'll pass it to Gray, who is currently playing a ambient kind of riff off of one of the Teenage Engineering devices. So I'm going to play that here because he is live.
I'm Marela. I don't have a fancy PowerPoint or slide for you. I'm a musician based in Oakland, and I'm just going to play a little bit for you first, and then I'll talk about what I'm doing. I'll find my inner rest, unveil your mask, reflect. When I sit here alone, the way I always do, no one sees me the way I see you. Of whom I must accept. That's a quick thing. I am working in Max MSP. I was trying to figure out how to just get something that was sleeves, and I just typed in mesh sleeves, and this was like rave wear. So I bought this and I put in these grommets and wired it all up, and yeah, it just is a nice little controller, and that was just one example of using it. The other thing I want to demo, I actually forgot I usually have a bowl of water, because this piece is really personal and like a very special piece about getting disconnected from your artistic process and having to like wash away these things that have kind of disconnected you, and like cleaning yourself, cleansing yourself. And so I wanted to use water. You can even like turn on the sequencer and then it'll make a little mess, but usually I'm like washing my hands and then being able to, yeah, just perform gesturally and perform using the elements. And I ended up thinking of this way of performing because I'm a vocalist and I don't play any instruments very well besides singing. And I was seeking an embodied physical experience on stage. And I thought, how as a vocalist that makes music in her computer, how can I try to make that physical? How can people see and feel what I'm doing?
Reaching out, circling back. Let's swipe together, forever. I'm here, online, with you. Are you there? I just wanted to check in. We've been online for months. I miss being around you, friend. I don't want to be on camera, and neither do you. Zoom fatigue is exhausting, and it's not safe to travel right now. I don't know how long it will be before we can see each other again. But I still want to know you're around. I want you to know that I'm thinking about you, even if I don't have the words or the capacity to express it. Would it feel better to doom scroll if we did it together, wordlessly? Could we play a game? Scratch that itch for more content together? I miss getting to spend our idle time together.
Thanks, Ash, for letting me go rogue, jump on here for 2 minutes. I'm Darren, normally working on a synthetic biology startup, but I have this side quest right now to do this kind of weird speculative documentary about genetically engineered humans, featuring this scientist named Hojin Kuei. He got imprisoned a few years ago because he started doing CRISPR on human embryos. And then he got freed about, I don't know, a couple years ago. And he's been tweeting a storm. People have been, vibing with his tweets. And so first I was like, oh, let me take his tweets and train a little Flux Lore. So this is just, synthetic Hojin Kuei come out of Flux raw. Which then he can start doing funny things. He's got a little dinosaur type thing here. He's got, Trumpian characteristics here. He's got, I also trained a Brian Johnson lore for another project. And so he's actually injecting Brian Johnson here. There's a whole clone army of him here, and another one here. But really, the project became more real a few weeks ago when my friend was like, oh, Darren, if you want to come swing by Beijing, I might marry this guy. And so I just got back from China earlier this week.
That's the lineup we have today, folks. Thank you so much. Let's give it up. I started TIA because I wanted to meet more creative technologists in San Francisco, and now we've done 11 of these, which is so insane. They've grown so much since where we started. You might have noticed for the first time we asked for donations for this event, and your donations are so appreciated since we're starting to establish TIA as an official nonprofit 501c entity. Our mission with TIA is to grow the creative technology ecosystem here through the love of this event that I've seen online and IRL. It's clear to me that we want and need more creative technology support, especially in the Bay. Thank you so much for supporting us here. Your support is going towards upcoming programming, workshops, and fellowships for the creative technologies here. And so as a small token of my appreciation, I made us some merch. And for context, actually, yeah, let me mention, if you manage a fund or if you work for a company that could be synergistic with what we do, please email me. I'm Empower on X, and I'm empower@gmail.com. Okay, anyways, for the merch, for context, I usually end these salons with this meme of what if we kiss at the intersection of art and technology. And so I made us TIA lip balms for your consensual kissing at this intersection of art and technology. But yeah, thank you so much. Please get one on your way out. And the next thing is that I'm working on an art and technology exhibition that doubles as a playground. The theme of it will be Body is a Machine, and there will be an open call, and if you're interested in being a part of it, this is the QR code for you to scan. If you'd like to come to more of these TIA events, you'll hear about them on our IG. We're TIA.place. We're gonna get drinks afterwards. Come join us. We're going to Lost Marbles Brewery. This is a 5-minute walk.